All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Well, good evening and welcome to Keeping It Real. This is your host. My name is Freddie Henderson. I'll be your moderator for the night. Let me bring in the crew for the night. What's going on, Sean? What's going on, my brother?
How you feeling? Had a good day.
There you go. Just glad to be back. Glad to be on here to talk some sports.
Yes, sir.
And let's bring Mr. Andre on board. What's going on, Andre?
I was better until I saw the background, on your screen. But I'm living and maintaining right now.
Well,
ready to have a great show with you guys.
Well, I had to bring some love to the set. I had to come up here to remind you of the wonderful Texas, the wonderful town that you like to be in down there in Texas, down there with the star behind me. So I had to come down here and pay them a visit to show you some love.
Yeah, we can live without it. We can live without it.
Hey, I got you. Gentlemen, we had a jam-packed weekend of the first round of the playoffs in the NFL, the wild card spot. Let's talk about them Dallas Cowboys, shall we? That's the game I want to start with. The Cowboys did lose to the San Francisco 49ers. The score was 23-17. I'm going to let my brother Dre go first on this. Dre, what happened?
I woke up that day and I just had so much promise in my heart, man. I thought that we were the more talented team, but again, undisciplined team, and the culture was terrible. The culture's terrible down there in Dallas. It just every year is the same thing, man. And me and Sean, we talk, off, behind the scenes. We talk, when we're not on the show, and we were discussing, man. It's the culture. It's the culture that's not the answer. Like when you bring in Mike McCarthy, who obviously Aaron Rodgers was getting ready to get rid of him. He got rid of him. It's just, we need a culture change. The team itself is not built like that, like anybody and everybody wanted it to be. It just hurts, man. It really does hurt.
Yes, Robert, I agree. How about them Cowboys?
It's all right. It's cool because you know why? I'm a loyal fan, and I do see that there is promise in the team. I just think that going forward next year, the next couple of weeks are going to be pivotal. They're going to be pivotal. We need to figure out what we're going to do with Mike. We need to figure out what's going on with Amari. We need to figure out what's going on with certain, cat casualties that might happen. So this team, man, they were built for this year. They're not built for the future. And that's the tough thing that we got to settle, deal with at this point.
All right, Sean, what was your reaction to the game? Shout out to my brother Chris D in the comments.
I look at this. I'm not biased at all. I didn't mind either team going into this. In fact, Dre and I both said on the show we thought the Cowboys would win. It's the worst when your team is like in and out and they have a chance to win and they kill. I'd rather get blown out. I've said it time and time again. I'd rather get blown out than to lose like that. To me, as an outsider, I think Zeke's done there. I think they got to roll with Tony Pollard for the long run. I think Zeke is he's a good blocker and all. He's done there. I'm not the one to usually blame coaches, but I think Mike McCarthy's done there. They have some holes to fill, as you were saying, as we talked about off air. they have a lot of big decisions to make. Each year they're underachieving. I mean, Dak was hurt last year, so that was what it was. They paid him a huge contract. He's got to perform better than that in clutch time, no matter what the referee did, bumped him or not. The play wasn't smart at the end, and they shouldn't have been in that position as favorites in that game. They can't do that, and it's disappointing. I can only imagine being a Cowboys fan watching that game. I'd be so frustrated, breaking the TV and all types of other stuff. So
it's like thinking that your girlfriend's going to be loyal and she keeps cheating on you.
Let me tell y'all something, gentlemen, because like I said, as you can see, I'm actually on the field down here at the AT&T Stadium. You can see I'm right by the star. I talked to Jerry Jones, heard Mike McCarthy talking about, I know how to coach. I know how to win, too. I'm a winner. Well, you know what that told me, gentlemen? Mike McCarthy is not going away. So Dre, you are in trouble, my brother, because Mike McCarthy will be your coach in 2022.
Here's what I'm actually hoping that does happen. I'm hoping that Kellen Moore does get a job. I'm hoping that Kellen Moore does get a job. And honestly, we need a change. We need a change of offensive philosophy. I feel like through the past couple of years, even going back to the Jason Garrett years, we had the same type of offensive philosophy. I feel like there's no change in the past, three seasons that we went 8-8 with Jason Garrett to, what we've seen in the past couple of years with Kellen Moore. We need a new offensive philosophy, and I just think
so. Kellen Moore's your answer?
Kellen Moore, I'm not going to say he's the answer. I think he's a part of the problem.
So why would you elevate him to head coach?
I wouldn't make him the head coach. I would elevate Dan. I don't know why the name slipped out of my mouth right now. But defensive coordinator, I elevate him.
Dan Quinn. Oh, okay. Because you said Kellen Moore, and I was like, what?
Nah. I mean, to be honest with you, those guys on defense fought for Dan Quinn. You know what I mean?
Dan Quinn did a great job.
I'm sorry, what?
I think Dan Quinn did a great job. He pretty much transformed.
I think he did a great job too, man. I just think that, like we said off air, man, like guys like Randy Gregory, man, like come on, man. Like they let you smoke. They let you smoke now, and you still messing up, bro.
Can't have it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why they lost on Sunday. It's because it's the Cowboys. This is what they do. Even when they're supposed to be the superior team, when they're supposed to have the better weapons, when they have the better team, it don't matter. They will find a way to mess it up. Can y'all not hear me?
A little staticky.
Yeah, it's staticky.
They will find a way to mess it up. This is what the Cowboys do. This is who they are. Let's not sit up here and just blame this on a coaching staff. We gotta blame this on Dak Prescott. You got paid $75 million this year. Can we go ahead and say Dak Prescott is not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? He's not. Don't look at me like that, sir. What has he accomplished? What has he done?
I mean, he's definitely a top 10 quarterback. I just don't think that I'm going to go again and say I don't think that system is best suited for him. I don't think that. I don't think he's a great long ball thrower. I don't think he's great after 25, 30 yards. I just think that we need a new offensive philosophy.
Sean, it's funny
but to say that he's not a top 10 quarterback, that's too much. That's too much.
Sean, it's funny to me the Cowboys fans like to always bring up the system. Because didn't they say the same thing when Jason Garrett was there? They brought in a whole new coach. So what is it, Dre? When is it time we're going to hold Dak Prescott accountable? When? Can somebody tell me when? Hold on. Because this is a quarterback that has an Amari Cooper, who has a CeeDee Lamb, who has a Ezekiel Elliott, a Tony Pollard, a decent offensive line, and had Gallup during the season, but he came up short yet again. And you mean to tell me, just like Anthony Price said in the comment, a guy who getting paid $75 million who did not know to get the ball to the referee, when is it time to hold him accountable?
He's 100% accountable, but he's not the sole blame for that team, for that loss.
I never did say he was the sole blame.
Well, I'm not even going to say he's a major factor. Let's talk about one of the things that you just said. That offensive line is not what it used to be when Dak first came there. They're not. Tyron Smith is injury prone on the regular. Rob, we'll get to Rob later. Tyron Smith is injury prone for the past 5 years. Zach Martin is the only person that's been reliable on that offensive line, and he's getting up there in the ladder now with age. And if you look at everybody else on the offensive line, Connor Williams led the league in holding penalties all year. Lavelle Collins is a head case. Like the strength of that team is not the case anymore. And again, that's why I have to sit there and say we have to have a new offensive philosophy. You can't sit there and think that this offensive line is going to be able to execute for Zeke the way that he used to, when that's not the same offensive line when he first came into the league.
Dre, Anthony asked you, can you name your top 10? Shout out to
Can
Clarence.
I name my top 10?
Yeah.
Can I name my top 10? That's not a problem. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Josh Allen is legit. Joe Burrow.
Ross?
I'll put Dak after that.
And what number are you at?
Dak's like 6.
Listen here. You got Aaron Rodgers. That's number 1. But
Aaron Rodgers, that's it.
I'm not going to put in the order. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Burrow, Herbert, Matthew Stafford. Who else am I forgetting?
That's Lamar Jackson. We've seen he doesn't get it done in the playoffs. He's inaccurate. No disrespect, Sean. I know that's your boy. But he's inaccurate. He hasn't done anything in the playoffs. Every time.
What is Dak Prescott? What has Dak Prescott done in the playoffs?
Got it done in the playoffs.
When? But he's 1-3.
He's won 2 games in the playoffs, bro.
No, he's 1-3. Go look at the record.
Bro, he's won 2 games.
You made me forget my list. Russell Wilson. And I know there's a 10th. I'm forgetting the 10th. I know. Oh, Baker Mayfield.
Sean, get your boy.
Not Baker Mayfield.
Not Baker Mayfield, bro. Bro.
I'm putting Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield, bro.
I think Dak's he's somewhere close to probably the 8 to 12 range, however you want to rank your quarterbacks. But I don't think you can put all the blame on Dak from yesterday. I mean, CeeDee Lamb played like garbage. Not yesterday, Sunday. CeeDee Lamb played bad. I mean, Zeke played bad. The offensive line, like you said, played bad. The run defense didn't play well enough. It was just a team effort. And we couldn't
get off the field on 3rd down to save our life, man.
You can't lose. I mean, the 49ers lost Bosa and Fred Warner. They're 2 best defensive players at one point. Dak does have to come up with a way to win that game. You can't lose that as a favorite at home, first round of the playoffs, with their 2 best defensive players out. I believe Fred Warner did come back, but you can't lose that game. You can't.
I get it, but he's not on the field when Randy Gregory's holding them either.
That's true.
That's what I said. Before I sit there and say, okay, Dak's overpaid, we shouldn't have gave him this money, blase. You have to look at the team around him. He literally has an old offensive line.
I did.
Did he just say Baker?
I did.
Like you can't. That offensive line.
I forgot to say Mac Jones.
What happened?
I forgot Mac Jones and Josh Allen. He's not top 10, bro.
Yeah, Rob, we're gonna have to ban Rob off the chat because for him to he put Kirk Cousins in that category with David Carr. He's banned from the chat.
I'm not gonna say the Kirk Cousins, but Kyler Murray's better than him. So just switch the 2. So he's 11 or 12-ish range quarterback.
Well, my thing is with Kyler Murray, and I'm gonna have to go to I hate doing this to short quarterbacks, but I think he's one of those quarterbacks that's too short. I don't think you can see over. He's one of those guys that athletically he'll get by, but he's not somebody that can win you a Super Bowl.
He lost DeAndre Hopkins and become painfully average for the last
exactly.
Couple of years. He didn't have DeAndre Hopkins. That's what having a number 1 receiver does for you. So.
All right, I'm going to get this corrected because I'm not saying Dak Prescott's the sole reason why the Cowboys lost. 'Cause there's many other reasons. But he's a part of the problem. Next problem is that C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb. Can we go ahead and say you need to take number 88 off? How dare you wear the number 88 and put up a game like you put up, sir? No, he's part of the problem. Amari Cooper paid you all that money. We need you to step up. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard. I don't, you know what? I don't really blame them as much because your offensive coordinator, they didn't really want to run the football because they did not utilize them like I've been saying. Now there's reports coming out that Ezekiel Elliott had a tear in his knee for the last couple of weeks, and they probably should have rested him, but they chose not to.
But
So there's a
you're
lot of
proving my
people.
point though with everything that you just said though. You're proving my point. But seeing the whole, we should have got Amari the ball. CD Lamb should have caught the ball, or CD Lamb should have played better. It's the philosophy of the offense, man. It's the philosophy of the offense. Like I'm praying Kellen Moore takes that Jacksonville job. I'm praying he takes that Minnesota job. Get him out, bro. We need something different. We need something different.
Hey Daniel, the only reason why I say CD's a part of the problem is because you still have to, there are some throws out there that he could have caught that he didn't catch. I definitely agree that Dak needs to be more accurate. Dak needs to be able to step in that pocket and deliver
Absolutely.
those throws. And like I've said many of times, Dak Prescott does that a lot of times. In the first 3 quarters, it's a no-show. But when it's down, the game is over, or whatever, or the other opposing team have like a huge lead against them, they start playing their prevent defense. Then Dak started to get these numbers, and people want to start putting him in this kind of conversation as a top 10 quarterback, which he's not. Let's just be honest. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you one thing who do look good right now, and who a lot of people want to criticize, but I don't think it's fair to criticize, and that's Jerry Jones. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because there's many quarterbacks in the NFL wish they had an owner that's going to put all these weapons like around him like they did Dak Prescott. Let's not get it twisted. Hey, I bet you Aaron Rodgers had the threat in the Green Bay Packers say, "Hey, I'm leaving. I don't want to be here no more." For them to even get an older wide receiver in Randall Cobb. I mean, it's just that bad. So yeah,
And again, everything that you're saying, it has me go back to my main point, and that's culture. We hired Mike McCarthy because he's a what? A yes man. Anybody that Jerry Jones can get in there that's going to be, okay, Jerry, we're going to do this. I'm going to do things your way. Whatever you want. Yes, sir, master. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? That's that mentality and that culture that he brings. We need a new culture. We need somebody to have people that's going to hold people accountable. I heard somewhere that he did this thing when he was a coach in Green Bay where if you made a penalty during a practice or something like that, you would have to sit out a play in practice. Sit out a play in practice, bro. Come on, that's not setting an example to like what can happen in the game type of situation, bro. Like that team needs someone of that Bill Cowher stature. You know what I mean? Someone that's going to be able to be able to lead. We don't have a leader as a head coach. We have somebody that's a puppet and that's going to be able to do exactly what Jerry Jones wants, and that's the problem.
Let me ask you this. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying he's going to leave the situation he's at because he hasn't made. What about would you take Jim Harbaugh as a coach over Mike McCarthy?
I'm sorry, would I take who?
Jim Harbaugh.
I would love Jim Harbaugh.
Because that's about exactly what he would do is come in with stern leadership.
Exactly.
That's if he leaves where he's at.
I've been thinking about Jim Harbaugh since Sunday at 8:00. I've literally wrote him personal fan letters trying to get him from Ann Arbor. I would love Jim Harbaugh. I would love to see khakis down the sideline in Dallas.
Yeah.
Daniel, I definitely agree. And this is nothing new. Sunday was nothing new that this was a team with lack of discipline. This is nothing new. We knew this in week 2 of the NFL season. I mean, this they've been making costly penalties all year long. So for us, people acting like, oh, all these penalties. What did you expect? This is what they've been doing all year long. But let's continue to move on. I think we beat up on Dre just enough for right now. Let's move on to the next game of the past weekend. We had the Arizona Cardinals. Hey, to me, the Cowboys was an embarrassment, but this right here, this game was even more of an embarrassment just because this team started off 10-2, I believe, in the season. They had so much expectations to go deep. They brought in a J.J. Watt. They brought in all these players for the Arizona Cardinals to make a deep run. They scored. The game was 34-11. The game was not close at all. Kyler Murray, he did not look the best at all. Sean, what was your expectations or what was your reaction to this game on Monday night?
I had the Rams winning, but I honestly thought it'd be a very close game. I did not expect Kyler to just completely play. He just played bad. Like I said, he's been lost without DeAndre Hopkins the last couple games, and it really showed up this game. He couldn't do anything. He had a dumb throw in the end zone. Matt Stafford showed up. Cam Akers showed up. Aaron Donald, Von Miller, they all showed up. And they just put together a perfect game. And the Cardinals, they had no answers for anything. They got dominated on all phases of the game. I don't think anybody really saw a blowout coming. I mean, these teams have played – I think they played 3 times. I think they split in the regular season, and this was the 3rd time. So you expect it to be a good game. You expect they know each other. But I didn't expect them to lose by 3 possessions and just get utterly embarrassed. That was the worst game of the weekend. The worst performance of the weekend, I should say. Kyler's got to be better. I mean, you guys want to hold Dak. You want to hold all these quarterbacks accountable. Kyler's got to be up next. He played horrendous. He played bad.
I got to send you this article where somebody said, you think he's still thinking about the Oakland A's right now? It was that bad. Like, and I do put a lot of blame on Kyler, but I got to put a lot of blame on Clint Clisbury too, man. Like, there's no way as a head coach you can honestly go in and say, you know what? Let's go, guys. Offensive line, we're going to go one-on-one with Aaron Donald. What?
Nobody can.
You can't be a coach and make that dumb of a move. And I felt like he didn't do enough to put his quarterback in a position to win. And I felt like he is that coach that we always thought he was, when he was hired. We thought he was unqualified. And I thought that this game particularly showed that he was an unqualified coach to be in the playoffs, that situation. He did not put his team in the best situation to win, and he was out-coached 100%. And it was an embarrassment to Kyler Murray. He looked like he did not want to be there, and I don't care who they played. If they would have played Dallas, they'd have probably still got cracked just the way they played. That team, man, all that talent, man, and you got to think. Do you think DeAndre's going to want to stick around for that? I mean, come on. He went through all that stuff with Bill O'Brien.
Yeah,
he's got to know that. He's got to see the the writing on the wall when you're going through the same thing over and over again. So who's this? Zach Ertz. I think he's unrestricted this year, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Come on, that's another weapon you're going to be missing. So Fitzgerald's not there anymore. Again, I think that we saw the ceiling with the Cardinals, and then at the end of the day, they were just outcoached.
I also do want to give the Rams credit. I do believe Sean McVay is probably one of the top 3 coaches in the league, and it was on display. And I think they have a chance to beat the Bucs, but we'll get into that later in the show. I think the Rams are very dangerous. People have been sleeping on them because they kind of fly under the radar the last couple games. They got the personnel. They got the coach. I mean, you got to watch out for the Rams. I mean,
you got to look at it like this, too. Like, it takes a minute for those weapons to come together. You know what I mean? When you got Odell – you got, Von Miller, you've got all the weapons on offense and defense. They just got those players together within the past, couple weeks, right? So it's going to take some time to get some continuity. And to piggyback off of what you said, I think Sean McVay is another version of Sean Payton.
Yep.
The way he can come up with offensive schemes and plays like that, he's a magician when it comes down to offense, man. So that team, and especially like you said, going against Tampa Bay, bro, they got a shot.
They got the personnel. They can run the ball and pressure Brady, take him off his spots.
Yep.
We're going to see. It'll be a good matchup.
Yep.
Can we go ahead and just say Shout out to the people who said Odell was a problem. Shout out to them.
Shout out to your boy Baker.
That's your dude. That's not my
That's your
dude.
boy, right?
Yeah, he's better than Dak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason why Dak Prescott was a fourth rounder, bro. Just saying. And we're seeing it. To the next game briefly, because I mean, it's not pretty much it's not much to talk about. Just because it was a blowout. 47-17. The Buffalo Bills going against New England Patriots. Dre, give me your reaction to that game.
They're the real deal. They're the real deal. You guys know I do my my sports bets and stuff like that. I'm hammering the Bills money line this weekend, hammering them because I think that defense it's the best defense in the NFL, best defense left in the NFL at this point. I don't think that Michael Hyde, especially after that, ever since that little conversation they had in against New England when they had a little stump in the road, they've been consistent all for the rest of the season on defense, man. They are ready for this game. They're ready to prove that point. And I can. That's my favorite game coming up this weekend. I think that the Bills are going to win by at least 10 points. I'm saying it now. Hammer the Bills.
Oh my, that's a strong conviction.
Listen, bro. And it's not anything against Kansas City. I just think that the way Kansas City runs their offense, as far as that dink and dunk, we do know that they get more 25 plus yards off of 3-yard passes. I just think that Buffalo's defense is something that can keep up with that. And to be honest with you, Buffalo's offense is the one offense that can keep up with Kansas City's offense. So it's going to come down to that defense. And to be honest with you, I've seen more consistency out of Buffalo's defense this year than I've seen Kansas City's defense.
Sean, my bad.
I don't know if I was more impressed with Buffalo or more disappointed in the Patriots, but I was on there last week. I said I thought this would be a way better game. The Bills just rolled them every aspect of the game. As you said, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, them safeties out there making plays. I talked about last week. They don't even have their best corner. Probably a top 3 corner in the league has been out.
Exactly.
They still got the number 1 defense. So that's a credit to their defensive coordinator. That team's scary. That team has a legit shot of winning the Super Bowl, and they have a more than legit shot of winning this weekend. I would take the over on that game personally. I think that the points are going to be flying off the board. Stephon Diggs, 150 yards. I think it's going to be a great, great game. But, yeah, I mean, the only thing you can say about that game is Buffalo just absolutely dominated them in every single aspect I've ever seen of football. Coaching, Bill Belichick was out coached, everything. It was just a complete massacre on the field.
I was going to ask you, let me ask you this, Fred. Have you ever remembered a game when Bill Belichick was out coached like that?
No, but I was expecting this. I mean, I'm surprised that you guys were shocked by this. I mean, come on now. I mean, who? Ask yourself this. See, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you need to self-reflect on a lot of things you say. Now that the season is over, sit down, plan in your mind. Okay, who have the New England Patriots played this year in the regular season with their all-time great player, with their superstar player playing as well? Ask yourself that.
I 100% agree with that. That's why I said, like, mainly too. I can't listen. I love Bill Belichick, greatest head coach of all time, but he's got a rookie quarterback. You got to prove it to me. Josh Allen's on a mission, and I'm going to go roll with a man that's on a mission over a rookie quarterback any day of the week.
They just didn't have the firepower or anything close to the firepower to score anything close to what they had to.
And the crazy thing is, like, next year, we're probably going to be looking at the same type of offense too.
Yep. I don't have a choice.
I'm sorry. I have to. I'm ready to talk about this Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I hear what you talking about, Dre. I hear it. But you know what? Like I say all the time, It's not how you start a season. It's how you finish a season. The Chiefs started off looked bad on the offensive end and defensive end. But toward the end of the year, they have gotten better. Last week, we seen this team explode against a great defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. They
That they're
might
not a
not
great
be good
defense.
offensively, but they're good defensively.
No, they're not. They're not. They give up more running yards than anybody in the NFL. That defense is terrible for Pittsburgh. That was an exhibition game for Kansas City. That was a warm-up game for them to get ready for the second round.
So if they put up 30 points this weekend, the Bills got exposed, correct?
No, you can't sit there and say that the Bills get exposed if Patrick Mahomes puts up 30 points. That's what Patrick Mahomes does. But to sit there and say that the Steelers have a legit defense, that's just false, man. Their defense
what you
trash.
said, I'm gonna repeat what you said. I don't think the Chiefs will be formidable going against this Buffalo Bills defense. That's what you said.
But I did say that. But that's still Patrick Mahomes. He's still going to put up points. So I mean, it's going to be a shootout, like my man Sean said.
So let me ask you a question. You mean to tell me you believe a Bills team with Josh Allen, who's young? I like Josh Allen. I say he's the 2.0 of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's still better than Josh Allen, but you're not ready to have that conversation. I mean, if you put Lamar Jackson in that great situation, he'll do the same thing. He's having
no, he won't. Josh Allen's got a better arm than Lamar Jackson all day, any day.
How can you say that when Lamar Jackson still don't have a true number one receiver?
Sean, could you please let this man know? Yo, Lamar, if he doesn't have a true number one, him not having a true number one wide receiver doesn't mean he doesn't take the fact that he's inaccurate.
When did we see Josh Allen explode? Sorry, when did we see Josh Allen explode in the NFL?
I'm sorry, say that again.
When did we see Josh Allen take that next step in the NFL?
He's taking it every year. Every year.
When?
His rookie year, he progressed to the second year, and now
when they got Stephon Diggs, they put receivers around him. He took that next level.
No, that's not true 100%. When that defense got a lot better, that's when they took that
I'm
next
talking
step.
about him looking like a formidable quarterback. When they brought Stephon Diggs, they took a next level. Till we see the Baltimore Ravens get Lamar a true number one receiver, because the man still put up crazy numbers. Didn't he last year have the most touchdown percentage or something? He had some crazy stat last year.
Touchdowns 2 years ago.
Exactly. For a guy who can't throw the football.
Weird, but I don't know.
So let me ask you this, Sean, and don't be biased. Don't be biased. Who's got a better arm?
Josh Allen. But I don't know if I have to see their careers progress. And as Freddie was saying, I still have to see Lamar with the number one receiver, and I have to see him with a different offensive coordinator, because our offense is 60% run. Absolutely. So he doesn't even have a fair shot to even display his arm. And we still don't use the receivers we have correctly. So I'm not ready to make that comparison yet. I think they're different players.
And I blame that on your coaching, Sean, because one thing about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they are run-first team. That's who they are.
But maybe they're a run-first team because he doesn't have an accurate arm.
No, that's because that's who their coach has always been. He's always been a run-first coach. They've always had that system. That's what they believe in. Now, I done forgot about the topic we was talking about, because we got all on Lamar Jackson. I had to come over here and educate you. But can we, I want to say this. I want to say this. I think it's time for the Ravens to pay Lamar Jackson his money, because we clearly see without him, that team is nothing. We see without Lamar Jackson carrying that team on their back, they can't win ball games.
It's just too bad that owner doesn't like to pay anybody.
We have a lot of other decisions to make, including offensive coordinator. I don't think we're going to make any big changes this year because injury is going to be the excuse, and it's a very valid excuse. We didn't have our starting quarterback, our starting running back, either one of them, left tackle, all that stuff. So I think all of the coaches are safe for this year, unfortunately. And I mean, Lamar, we can do an option, which we will, and either we can pay him this offseason and save and backload it and try to bring in some people, bring in some pieces, or we can pay him, see how he performs, and roll the dice and see how he performs next year and pay him after that. You're going to look to pay. You have to pay him $40 million. That's the market for a quarterback.
If I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm not taking the money.
You don't think so?
I'm not taking the money this year.
Why not?
Well, his mom's his agent, so that's one thing. He doesn't have.
His mom's his agent. His mom's gonna. I hope his mom tells him, no, don't take that little bit of money they're gonna offer you now. You show out, baby boy, and you go get mama that bag. That's what I hope his mom is telling him. Because you come back with the Baltimore team who's going to be hungry, 100% healthier.
Yeah,
he's going to get that bag next year. I rather, if I'm him, I sit and take that fifth year option, and I show out. And I get that bag next year.
The problem with that is you don't go that route is because there's too many. You don't know what's going to happen. You can go out there, break a leg, you can go out there and snap an arm. You can do anything. So you do take your money because this will be the first time you get paid a big payday. He's going to get paid pretty big. I mean, he's going to be top 3 highest paid.
No, he's going to be top 3, 4.
I mean, that's fact.
Yeah, he's 100%.
Yeah. So,
but I think if he bets on himself, I think he could be the top paid quarterback if he bets on himself.
Well, let's not forget Dak Prescott got lucky betting on himself. Let's not act like he didn't get lucky.
He didn't get lucky. He'd earned that check.
Yeah, but him going through that injury and all that stuff.
I mean, he earned that check though.
Yeah, but look where he got him now. But let's go over the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills game this weekend, bro.
Man, this is the game I've been most excited for this season to this point. This game should be insane. I think both teams are scored in the 30s. We talked about Buffalo's defense. The Chiefs are going to score. It's just inevitable. That's what's going to happen, and then they're going to have to score because Buffalo's going to score. They don't have anybody that can match up with Stephon Diggs. They don't have any corners. They have Snead. They have Ward. They're okay. The Honey Badger over the top, but this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm thinking at least like 21-17, something close to that at halftime. I've went so back and forth with this game, man. Right now, I may be a little biased because I hate the Chiefs, but I'm going to say the Bills pull out a last-second field goal. I'm thinking like 34-31, Bills.
And by the way, just to let you guys know, I am going with the Kansas City Chiefs because I don't think your season, beginning of your season, define your season. I mean, hey, and one thing I know, Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill, and the coach, Andy Reid, they're experiencing this moment. You're going against a Bills team, they haven't had too much success in the postseason. You're going against a team that's experienced, and a quarterback in Patrick Mahomes that can light you up at any moment. So, I mean, I'm going with the Chiefs. But the game of the week that we can all, I'm going to say that one for last. I'm going to go this Saturday night down there in the frozen tundra, down there in the ice cold, and down there in Green Bay where they have a quarterback by the name of Aaron Rodgers, down there with Devontae Adams, with Aaron Jones, going against the San Francisco 49ers with porn star Jimmy, with Kyle Shanahan calling those plays. He's got Debo down there. They've been playing him in the backfield. They did embarrass America's team on last week, by the way. I don't know why they call them America's team, but they embarrassed them. Who are you guys picking in this game? And I want Dre to bring this hate and let him get the hate out of the system. Okay, let me hear it.
I'm honestly going to go with Aaron Rodgers. I think the past couple of years of him losing to San Francisco is probably really killing him. He's hungry. He's hungry, man. And to be honest with you, Jimmy G almost gave that game away. That pick, to Anthony Brown, the Cowboys game. You can't make the same mistakes you did against Dallas into Green Bay and think you're going to win. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm going to go with a 31-22 game.
I'm also going to roll with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, he's been resting. I'm pretty sure he didn't play the last game of the season. He's been resting, 3 weeks now at that point.
He did play. He just played like the first half.
So, I mean, they played week 3. It was a good game. Aaron Rodgers had to get him in field goal range to win the game. I think for the 49ers, I think they're just outmatched, and not to mention they're not super used to playing in the type of cold that they're going to be playing in this weekend. So
it's going to be interesting, man.
Aaron Rodgers is used to playing in this cold because that's what he does, and that man's on a mission. That man's, in my opinion, going to win the Super Bowl. I think the Packers win pretty convincingly. The only reason I don't want to count on Debo because that dude is just different. You just get him the ball and he finds ways to score. And they got good news with Nick Bosa getting cleared to practice today. So it looks like he'll be playing. It looks like Fred Warner should probably be playing. So all hands on deck. The Packers also got Zadarius Smith back. They got some people back. This is the first time. This is the healthiest the Packers have been for the whole season. So look out for this Packers team. I think they win fairly convincingly. I'll say 27-17, something like that.
Here's one thing, and before you go, Fred, the only way I feel as though San Francisco has a chance in this game is if they control the clock. If they're able to let Elijah Mitchell, run the ball and command that game, they have a puncher's chance. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be a good chance, but they have a puncher's chance, and I really do think if they control the ball, because San Francisco defense is not all that. But if they can at least control the ball, keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, minimize his chances, play the field position game, they got a shot, man. They got a shot. I don't think they got a good one, but I just don't want to count them out that easy.
The problem is they have to win in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo. Not because of him. They have to win in spite of him playing bad, which he doesn't always play bad, but he's never going to throw for 403 touchdowns to keep up with Aaron Rodgers. That's just not who he is.
But let's also remember Jimmy G's going out thinking, this is my last days in San Francisco. I got to make it happen, man. I got to get a payday. You know what I mean? So he's playing on his contract, man. I mean, wouldn't it be ironic though? What if he wins the Super Bowl? What do you do what do you do in that situation?
They may have to pay him anyway. I mean, they drafted Trey Lance, but I don't know if they like what they saw from him.
They already said that Trey Lance is starting next year.
Listen here. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man.
Bad man.
Immunized, broke toe, long hair, and all. That's a bad brother on the Green Bay Packers.
It's a bad man.
Yep.
And you know what you want to talk about? Only way to San Francisco have a chance if they game manage. The only person I know that can control the clock on the ball game better is Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Yes, Sean, they are getting. This is the most healthiest they're going to be all year. You got your all pro lineman coming back. I can't say his name, that's why I'm not saying his name.
Sorry.
Yeah, you got a cornerback coming back. You got Randall Cobb coming back. Zadarius Smith, he's back. You got the defense there. They should be a lot better than they have in past recent history. Mm-hmm. So this game, I got Packers by 10. I'm not gonna say no crazy number, but Packers by 10, and we're gonna go on down there to beat the next game. And let's go to the next game. We got the Rams. We got the GOAT. We got Brady. This could be a trap game for the Rams. This could be a trap game for Tom Brady.
I'm going Rams.
Oh.
I'm going Rams. I'm sorry, man. Again, I felt like there's no difference between Pittsburgh and Kansas City and Tampa Bay versus the Eagles last week. They were both warm-up games for this next round. I honestly feel like that Tampa Bay offensive line, Tristan Wirfs, he's still that sprained ankle is still going to be an issue. I think that offensive line, He's going to have to get that ball out. He gets rid of it within 1.2 seconds. He's got to get rid of it in 0.4 because that offensive line is not going to be able to hold. And let's be honest, like, you know, the way they're running their offense with those 2-3 tight end sets, that's picture made for LA's defense, man. I just don't think that Tom Brady has enough weapons to and I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't even sound right thinking it, that Tom Brady doesn't have enough weapons. But I just think that the GOAT's going down.
It's wild because here I am agreeing that the best quarterback to ever play this game is going to lose this weekend to a Rams team that he's going to be favored against. Like, as a lot of reasons you alluded to, I think the matchup is a lot in the Rams' favor with, like you said, Wirfs is out. Ryan Jensen's going to play, but he's hobbled. Yeah. I mean, the Rams are clicking on all cylinders. They got Cam Akers back. I don't know how he came back so fast. He just looks more explosive than ever. They have Odell. He's clicking with Matt Stafford. They have Cooper Kupp. They have Van Jefferson, who's not bad. They have Higbee. They have Sony Michel. They have all these guys, all this personnel you can rotate in to get fresh legs. I'm not going to completely count Tampa Bay out. It wouldn't surprise me if they won, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say the Rams do it. I think the Rams win a close game. They win by 3. I think what's their kicker's name? Magay, I think. I think he hits a game-winning field goal to put the Rams. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think both of the defenses come to play, pressure the quarterback. I'm thinking 24-21 or something like that.
I'm going to go even further, and I think that it's not even going to be that close.
Really?
I really don't. I really, really don't.
Dre, one of these days you're going to learn to respect greatness. One of these days you're going to learn you don't bet against greatness.
I respect Tom Brady. I respect Tom Brady like I respect my mother. I wouldn't disrespect him at all. But I just have to go with what I see. And what I see right now is that if Leonard Fournette isn't playoff Lenny, this game's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Listen, like I said, you don't bet against greatness. Tom Brady's been in these situations before. He's experienced. He knows how to win when it matters. The pressure won't get too high for Tom Brady. Can we say that about Matthew Stafford?
I mean, he played his first playoff game and won.
But did they win because it was Matthew Stafford?
He had a part.
Or did Matthew Stafford go in there being more like a game manager quarterback?
No, he didn't look like a game manager quarterback. He hit Odell. He ran the offense and he executed. They didn't lose the game in spite of him. They won it because of him.
Because his stats tell me a lot differently when I watched it and when I look at these numbers.
But you have to also look at the fact that he didn't have to do as much as he was supposed to do because Kyler Murray was out there throwing pick sixes every other day.
Oh, either he didn't do too much because he didn't want to choke up the job. He didn't want to come up there and let the lights get too big for him.
No, why would they have to put him in a situation to, potentially lose a game when your defense is winning it for you? Like I was saying, it's going to be in Tampa. Tampa loves playing in Tampa. They play best at home. Yes, I know they do not have Godwin. I know they don't have Antonio Brown. You still have Mike Evans. You still have Scotty Miller. You still have Gronkowski. You still have Fournette. You still have Tom Brady. You still have that defense. Jalen Ramsey is barbecue chicken when it comes down to Mike Evans. That's barbecue chicken. He gonna lock Mike Evans up.
Well, guess what? Tom Brady's gonna put Mike Evans in those positions where he can go back at Jalen Ramsey. He's gonna come back for him. He gonna say, "Okay, let's put him into action." Because guess what? Tom Brady finds a way to get Devontae Adams going against Jalen Ramsey. What makes you think Tom Brady can't do that?
So Aaron Rodgers,
huh?
You said Tom Brady hit Devontae Adams, but I know you meant
Aaron Rodgers hit Devontae Adams when he's going against Ramsey. What makes us think Tom Brady can't do that?
They're gonna have to do what Aaron Rodgers does. They're gonna have to move him around. They do a lot of motion plays and stuff to get Jalen Ramsey off of him because he is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. I just I said.
That's why I say the GOAT will find a way.
The difference between what you just said though is Tom Brady doesn't have that offensive line. Aaron Rodgers does.
Tom Brady have a decent O line.
Yeah, that offensive line is hurt right now, though, bro.
Just watch Sunday.
They need their left tackle to play in the worst way this weekend. They need him to play.
Once Tristan Wirfs went out, that left tackle gave up I think it was 3 or 4 sacks. Right after he came in, he gave up 3 or 4 sacks in that game. You can't play that type of game against Aaron Donald on that defensive line and think you have a legitimate chance, man.
Anthony, I know Devontae Adams is a better player than Evans. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is Evans is still a lead receiver in today's game where Tom Brady can find ways to give that man the football. That's what I'm saying. I'm not comparing the two receivers at all.
No, I hear you. I just think that in this particular game, what we've seen Tom Brady do more with less, I don't think that's going to work this particular situation.
Okay, we'll see. We will see.
And real quick point, Matt Stafford, he doesn't have to play perfectly because the Rams have a Sean McVay, and he's going to put him in the position that he needs to win. And Sean McVay, he went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff as his quarterback. He didn't win.
But Sean, who is Brady's offensive coordinator?
Byron Leftwich.
Yes.
Okay. A respectful offensive coordinator.
Right.
We've seen Sean McVay at times do a little bit too much. We've seen that from time to time, right? Get out coach at least a couple times in his career. Just saying.
Yeah, that's going to happen to everybody. But if I want somebody going against Tom Brady, Sean McVay's as a coach, Sean McVay's one of the top 3 that I want going against Tom Brady.
So let me throw this at you. Let me throw this at you. Then.
Sean Payton to beat the.
So let me ask you. Let me throw this at you. You want Sean McVay going against Tom Brady, but what about Bruce Arians in a Tom Brady game planning against you? A guy who have experience about Bill Belichick. Maybe he's bringing that, that charisma something Bill Belichick might bring.
I'm not worried about Bruce Arians.
Not at all.
No, I'm not saying that Bruce Arians. You should be worried about Tom Brady.
I would definitely be worried about Tom Brady. 100% be worried about Tom Brady. I'm not worried about Bruce Arians though.
I feel like Bruce Arians is just a mouthpiece.
100%.
All right, we got like 8 minutes left. We got to do it. I don't know if you guys seen the report today. Lakers management have gave Frank Vogel the green light to allow Russell Westbrook to bench Russell Westbrook in the fourth quarter if he sees fit to help them win games. By making that move, do you guys think the Lakers should move on from Frank Vogel? Whoever want to go first, y'all can go first.
I don't think it's Frank Vogel's fault.
Neither do I. You want to go first, Sean?
I can go first. I can dabble in a little bit. I don't know why.
Hold on, Sean. Hey, Pride, if you can, hop on because there's a lot of slander to your boy, Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady Jr. There's a lot of slander they throwing at him right now, my brother. Let's throw it at him.
I don't understand why Frank Vogel gets a lot of blame. I know in sports it's a common thing to blame the coach for things that happen. I don't think it's Frank Vogel's fault, and I don't think outside of obviously LeBron, who's playing out of his mind, and they're still not winning a lot of games that they should be winning, even with LeBron playing like that. So, I mean, I would blame multiple other people before I'm blaming Frank Vogel for anything.
100%. Like to even piggyback off with the comment, just I don't know if you guys saw the comment. If a coach has to have permission to bench a player, it's not the coach's problem at that point. Like at this point, we know Frank Vogel's not coaching that team. LeBron James is coaching that team. He just orchestrated the wrong players at the wrong time.
Westbrook never fit that team. He doesn't play defense in the fourth quarter either. So I mean, you have to bench him. That's your best chance to win. He's not lying.
Nope.
What are you going to do?
Not at all. If it's me, which I'm trading Westbrook already. I've said it, numerous of times. I know that contract is, almost impossible to get rid of. It's almost at that Tobias Harris level.
Problem.
But I rather just cut my ends at this point, man. Cut my ends with him.
Or just let him ride the bench for the rest of the year until you can find a trade person or see what you can do in offseason.
Buying him out. Yeah, Look at this. Oh my goodness, my man.
Who
My
is
man.
slandering Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.? Whoever is slandering him, y'all need to step up, because we not going to disrespect Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Now, first things first, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you. Much love, appreciate it.
Nah, don't do that. Nah, you buttering me up. You buttering me up. You buttering me up. I can smell the slander, Freddie.
We appreciate anybody that want to hop on, and it's much love. We definitely appreciate it.
Of course, appreciate it. Yeah.
I have to reiterate the fact, I'm not slandering Tom Brady. I'm literally just saying this particular game is not an ideal matchup for the Bucks. I'm not saying Tom Brady, because obviously Tom Brady can do whatever he wants to on any given Sunday. Willie Beeman, any given Sunday.
All right.
I just feel as though in this particular matchup, with the way things look right now, we don't know if playoff Lenny's going to be 100%. We don't know if Tristan Wirfs, as like we just stated before, he went out. That left side of that offensive line got beat up brutally.
Right,
we don't know if the main factors going to this game is going to stick up and be in favor of Tom Brady. And based off what I see right now, I can't honestly wholeheartedly say that I have 100% faith in the Buccaneers. Now, you take all those factors away, and Tom Brady has a healthy offensive line. Oh, yeah, he's going to go out there and sling it. He's got a healthy playoff money. He's going to go out there and do it. But just with the factors right now, I just don't have the confidence.
Okay. All right. So no slander detected so far. I do sense there's a little bit of Brady hatred in your heart, just a little bit, and you did a phenomenal job masking it. So I'm gonna let it rock. Sean, my guy, I just want to let it know. Let me just let it be known. There's two gentlemen on God's green earth we're not allowed to slander. It's Tom Brady and LeBron James. Those are the only two gentlemen. You could slander Anthony Davis. You could slander him till kingdom come. I'm good. I'm chilling. We're not slandering LeBron James. Sean, I saw your face. Hey. You got me scared. Hold on, Freddie, because his face scared me, Freddie. When Andre over here was saying this stuff about Tom Brady, Sean looked like he wanted to say something, man. Sean, our relationship now, it's teetering, bro. Don't disrespect Tom Brady. The floor is yours.
There was no Brady slander here. It was just agreeing that we believe that the Bucks don't match up well against the Rams for this weekend because of him missing Godwin and other pieces that we alluded to. I would never slander the best quarterback to ever play.
Never. Okay. Never.
I love these right here. For those of you at home, this is what intelligent, strong-minded, phenomenal. These are goats in the making. So if y'all ever say, who should I aspire to be? These intelligent gentlemen here. Obviously, then there's Freddie, but outside of Freddie, these two gentlemen here, these intelligent gentlemen. And matter of fact, real quick, I'm gonna put it like this: 2, 4, 6, 8. Don't matter how many times he gets sacked. You know who we finna appreciate? Tom Brady. He finna get in the dub, baby. We chilling, and I'm gonna tell you this right now. After we win, me and Tom, we chilling. We gonna be chilling. So I don't care how many times they sack him. So
I'm glad that our relationship started off on a great note, but I do have to slander the GOAT.
Fuck me, man.
I do gotta slander LeBron James.
Don't do that. Wait, hold on. On what level? Let me hear you.
Well, I'm not gonna ever say. I'm be honest with you. I come from that era, that Jordan era, but I will say that I feel like LeBron's a better player than Jordan. But I feel as though at this point right now, what LeBron's doing, I feel as though that it's more manipulated for him to be successful than the Lakers to be successful. I feel as though that, yeah.
But because I've seen, and Freddie, I've seen that narrative pushed. But here's my confusion, right? Here's my confusion with that. LeBron James can never win. Because if the Lakers are dog shit, excuse my French, and LeBron is playing well, then it's manipulative. But if the Lakers are bad and LeBron plays poorly it's the end of LeBron. But if the Lakers are playing well and LeBron is playing well, he's front running. But if the Lakers play well and LeBron is struggling, then he's the weak link.
So let me ask you this question.
Go ahead, brother.
Do you fit who orchestrated this roster?
So now, if you're going from that point of view, LeBron James got to take this L. And Freddie, I've been consistent with this. If he doesn't say we need Russ, then he's not there. And from that point of view, I agree with you.
And that's my only problem with LeBron James at this point with this season. I feel as though you're at the point in your career. What else do you have to prove? So I feel as though that the Melo signing, the Russ trade, all those other acquisitions that happened this year, I felt as though that was an old man sitting back like, oh, man, I don't got much else to do with my career. Let me see if I can finally get an NBA season with my best friend, Melo. Let me see if I can get Russ on the teams because he's from LA. I feel as though that this season was more an enjoyment just for him, not leading his team to success. I just don't see how you can.
And Dre, that's where you're 100% wrong, my brother.
Right.
But how can I be wrong? How can I be wrong when I'm looking at the results?
I can tell you why you're 100% wrong.
How am I 100% wrong when I'm looking at the results of this team?
Sean,
but here's
Sean,
go ahead, Freddie. Go ahead, Freddie.
When I say something, and then I jump in and say something, me and him both can't talk at the same time. So let me talk and tell you why. Because LeBron James knows one thing. He knows one thing. He knows he can't come to LA and put everything above basketball and winning championships for the Lakers. He knows that because the fans are going to attack him. That's why it was very important to him to win that championship that he did a few years back ago. It was very important.
Was a fraud, and I'll say it every time, bro.
I do think LeBron. I would never slander LeBron. I think I don't like comparing players. I think there can be two different GOATs of each era, but I do think he has a little too much say on how the team got pieced together.
Can I ask you guys a question?
A little blame on that.
Well, we all agree here with Russ going there. Bron got to wear it, 100%.
Hold on. Before you even go into this question, let's go back to last year. Anthony Davis is a great player, but Anthony Davis is soft as ice cream custard. And the fact that LeBron James rides his coattail and makes sure he babies him, he babies AD. AD is soft as custard.
It got him a chip.
What?
It got him a chip.
He got him a chip in a bubble year.
And hold on. Don't just say a bubble season. You can't just say that and try to discount it.
Okay.
This was a season that almost every player who's spoken about it said it was the hardest season they ever had to go. This made coaches quit. Brad Stevens quit. From my beloved Celtics, he quit because of the bubble.
He didn't quit because of the bubble. He quit because he wanted a higher position.
No.
Yes.
How are you going to tell me I am a Celtics fan? You cut me now. Green comes out. He quit, and he has said this. He quit because of the bubble. And he has said this, and this is just common knowledge. He said in the bubble, he realized he could not get the best out of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and he went to the front office and said, "Let me go." Danny Ainge said,
"I want the bubble itself." That has nothing to do with the bubble.
How, when he said the bubble made me realize this?
No, that has nothing to do with the bubble. The bubble.
But how, when he himself said the bubble made me realize this?
A lot of people say stuff is to cover face. I don't think that he
to cover face. Imagínate. How you gonna say the bubble? It says cover face. I don't. So then, by your logic, Devin Booker, he came out and said it was difficult. Nikola Jokic, Kawhi Leonard.
Everybody said it was difficult. So let me get this. So everybody with everybody saying it was difficult, it's hard, this, that, and the other. It doesn't take for the fact that it was a new type of playoff system, a whole bubble, this, that, and everything was out of whack. That was a bullshit ass season. Excuse my language.
No, it wasn't. And you want to know how I can end it? I'm gonna end it with this, and then Freddie, I'm gonna give you the floor. If any other team besides the Lakers won the title, it would have been valid. I'm telling you this right now.
It was the type of season. Come on, the Miami Heat didn't even belong in the finals that
No, they were, bro. They did. What are you talking about?
No, they didn't, bro. Come on, man. They didn't belong in the finals that
Bro,
year.
they did to Giannis what Toronto did a couple years ago to him. So let's not act like bro, the thing was out there for Giannis. So don't act like, oh yeah, in a normal type of situation, Giannis would have dunked all through them and he would have had his way. No, because they did the same thing that the Toronto Raptors did, bro. Nah, I ain't taking no slander. Now, I'm gonna tell you this right now. The only people who say that bubble didn't matter is because your team did not win. That's it. If your team won, it would have been great. It was the hardest. They had to overcome, they had to persevere, all this stuff. All I know, the bubble made dudes reconsider their career. When a playoff series makes you reconsider your career, I don't care what nobody says. It's a valid championship.
Nobody's.
And then you got to look at
hold
on, Dre. Hold on, Dre. And then you got to look at the standpoint of this as well. You're talking about a team, the Lakers. They support that they didn't even want to be there anymore at a starting point. Then you're talking about teams that have to motivate themselves without fans to back them up. Then you're talking about guys staying in a bubble with another bunch of grown men, not able to see their families. And you got, I mean, come on, Dre, don't do that, dude. Like the Lakers was never in a situation where they was treated differently like any other team. They was held to the same standard like every other team that was in that bubble. It was no different. The rules are still the same.
We're forgetting the fact that it was a new standard in a different environment. So I can't just sit there and say that was a legitimate championship. No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
No, you can. No, well, that's fine. It's fine if you can't. That just means you're wrong. That's fine.
Put it like this. Anytime I think about that Laker chip that LeBron gets in Los Angeles,
so can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
I know what you're going to ask me already. I know what you're
so what am I going to ask you? What am I going to ask you?
You're going to ask me what my team is.
Nope, negative. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to have this entire conversation. We're going to have this entire conversation about me knowing your team, right? I'm not going to ask you your team. Let me ask you something. Whenever there was an NBA lockout and that team won the finals, does that count as well?
When was the last NBA lockout? Was what 2000?
If I ain't smoking, it was with Miami when LeBron was there. Somebody fact check me on that. Make sure I'm right. But I'm pretty sure there was a lockout when what was it, his second or third year there? Yeah,
I think it was like 2012, 2013, somewhere around in there.
So yeah, then it was the first year that he won the ring. So it was the second year there. Yes.
Who won that year?
Miami.
Miami.
Because it was the second year. Yeah. It was LeBron's first ring. So
I'm
yes.
about to look it up now.
Yeah.
I mean, but that NBA lockout compared to a bubble is two different things, though, bro.
No. It affected it. See, this is what I love to do with people. I like to dig a hole, you feel me? And just put some type of grass or something on it, right? And I let dudes run around and around and around, and I just wait patiently. You know, time will come, and then whoop, you immediately fall in there.
But you're comparing an NBA lockout season to like a bubble season. There's no comparison.
It's the same thing. It's different. It's different. It took guys out of their mojo. Because when LeBron won his first ring, that was some of the stuff people were saying to knock LeBron, that the lockout was the reason that he beat OKC. I ain't taking no LeBron slander. Look here, man. Again, if you want to get mad about the bubble, that's fine. It is what it is. I ain't gonna say it don't count. I ain't gonna say it don't matter. Because for every one thing they changed, for the whole playoff thing, for every one thing they changed, and Sean, if I'm wrong, let me know. For every one thing they changed, it was two different things that the players themselves had to deal with. For every single old obstacle that was out the way, two brand new obstacles popped in the way.
This is what I'll say. I believe that the ring definitely counts because every team had level playing ground. The only advantage was LeBron's been in the league for so long that his body could rest and he could get right back in the game shape real quickly. But that's not his fault. The elements that happened were not his fault. So you can't fault him or the Lakers. They did what they had to do. Everybody had a level playing ground. Everybody had the same time off. Everybody had to prepare the same way and stay in the bubble. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you could put an asterisk next to it, but it still counts. I mean, it's still valid.
I'm not gonna, and like you said, like I'm not gonna say it didn't count, but I just feel like compared to another title in another year, it's just gonna be like, oh yeah, that was the bubble year. it's going to be one of those things that's always going to be in the back of my mind. Like, it was a bubble.
Question.
I'm not going to take away the title, but I'm going to sit there and say that it was the bubble year.
Dre, that's your question.
What's up, Fred?
Before the bubble started, before they ended the season, who was the hottest team at that point?
The Lakers.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
But we're still not going to take the fact away that Anthony Davis sits when he pees.
You said what now?
That's still not going to take away the fact that Anthony Davis sits when he pees.
Well, you know what? That's fine, but we're not going to sit and forget this part that Anthony Davis had one of the greatest runs in the finals, in the playoffs that year as well. So
I just can't get this. I just don't understand this Anthony Davis love with the Lakers. I just never have, and I never will. I feel like
you know why? Because you, as a Magic fan, wish you can get a player like Anthony Davis.
Whoa, you're a Magic fan? Yo, so that whole soliloquy on me saying the championship mattered. Yeah, let me throw that out of here, homie. You messed up in the conversation when it got leaked. You a Magic fan, homie.
Listen. Hey, look, we can talk sidebar about my Magics here and there. We can go with that's neither here or there. It's neither here or there.
Look, nah, you know what? I can't even blame you, dog, because that's how I feel every time my team's brought up. I'm a Celtics fan. They won that ring because of AD, not Bron. Now, are we gonna and Greg? That's my dude right there. I love Greg. You feel me? He'll be on the morning show. That's my dude right there. You feel me? Greg, I love you. This is coming from a place of love. You feel me? And you know it is, because I'm not gonna do my normal line with all due disrespect. I ain't gonna do that to you, Greg, because I love you. You my dude. You feel me? But to quote the guy you love, stop it. Get some help. You feel me? I love you, Greg. You my dude. You feel me?
Yo, I was going to hit him with the, are you high?
Are you on drugs?
Are you on
drugs? Like, what? And again, Greg is my dude. Freddie knows that's my guy right there. I love amping him up because the thing is, if y'all ever have to do a show with Greg, he's just so calm. He's just so mellow. But when he gets tight, he starts punching desks. He starts screaming. Yo, oh my. And it's just crazy because when Greg gets hype, it get you hype. You start getting riled up. But Greg, that ain't it, Chief. That ain't it, Chief.
So while we're all here and we're all talking basketball real quick, let me get you guys' opinion. I know we didn't talk about this in production meeting or anything like that. What do you guys think about this whole the Ben Simmons trade offer that the Sixers rejected? Actually,
I said this morning. The 76ers are stupid. They're dumb. They're uneducated. They're moronic. Any type of synonym for the word dumb.
I mean,
Greg was like, "You my dude, probably you know how to get my Bron slander in."
So,
but
I mean,
real quick,
before wrap up the whole.
Yeah, and real quick, just because real quick, I don't know if y'all heard about the second trade they offered him. So originally it was Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, and 2 firsts, right? The Sixers said no. They then said, you know what? We got Tyrese. You. We gonna give you Tyrese, Halliburton, and they were gonna give you also Harrison Barnes and 2 firsts. If I'm wrong, please let me know. That is gonna be the best thing they can get.
That's the best thing they can get.
And this is the only thing I can think of on why they said no. The only way is they must legitimately believe they can go get Damian Lillard. Like, that is the only reason they're straight up still saying no to all these solid trades. Because let's be fair, in any trade they do, Ben Simmons right now is probably going to be the best player in that trade. Most trades, unless you go get like a Dame or a Luka or something like that.
That's not why they said no.
So Freddie, the man with the plan, Fred Word, please explain why they said no.
Rich Paul and LeBron James are working. They are plotting this way to get Westbrook out of LA. And at this point in time, I was not a fan of Ben Simmons in LA.
We got
but
a Warwick Bob.
I would take him over Russ any day of the
Wait,
week.
time out. Hold on. Time out. Hold on. Ooh, Freddie, you know my petty ass finna go here. So let me ask you a question. So right now, and Freddie, you know where I'm going with this.
I know
Sean,
where you're going.
DeAndre, see, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, your boy said, before it was cool to say it, before it was the obvious thing, Freddie, what was I saying? By the matter of fact, it was a rhetorical question. You just stand there, you look pretty. By the way, I love the shirt. You're looking quite dapper. This is what I said. Russ is horrible, and you just need to trade him and go get Ben Simmons. Pride, you don't know what you're talking about. Pride, you're an idiot. Pride, Ben Simmons can't shoot. And this is what I said. Ben Simmons won't shoot, and Russ is shooting, and Russ shooting is your problem because he's a three-point shooter, not a three-point maker. And you do not rely on Russ for the shooting. Oh, Pride, why would that make any sense? Because what you get in Ben Simmons, sure, you're losing in shooting, but you're gaining in everything else. Oh, Pride, you're so dumb. Well, hold on now. Let's just think about this. No, Pride, you don't know what you're talking about. Lo and behold, here we are. You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things. I told everyone, y'all gonna come around. Y'all going, and I told people, y'all gonna come around and y'all gonna forget Pride said it. They gonna forget Sean. I told them they gonna ignore me. They gonna be like, let's not talk about it. You feel me? Let's just bring it up and think, pray, and hope Pride forgot. I forget. So Freddie, one more time because I just love it. I just love it when you just have to cave in and agree with me. One time, who would you rather take right now? Good old Benjamin Sittons or Russell triple-double Westbrook? Please, Freddie, and indulge me.
I'm taking Ben Simmons. Just for the fact of the reason you said it. Just for the reason you said it, man. One
It
thing
took
I
you this
know,
long, bro?
Ben Simmons is not going to throw. Ben Simmons is not going to shoot me out of a game. Ben Simmons is not going to turn the ball over 7, 8 times. He's not going to play lack of defense. He's not going to miss wide open layups. That's one thing I know about Ben. And Ben, you can play him 1 through 5, so let's make this team even more versatile. So I think the Lakers, and it brings youth. It brings them another young player to this team to get them younger. So if I was the Lakers, I definitely would look into it. Even if it means by giving up THT, Kendrick Nunn as well, I would definitely look into it as well. So,
But would the Sixers do that?
Never.
Why
For
would the Sixers bring on that contract?
well, they're gonna have to make it balance. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The Sixers aren't trading. The Sixers.
See-
I live outside of Philly.
See what
They're not trading.
I do agree
About
that
it.
Ben Simmons would be a much better fit than obviously Russell Westbrook, as anybody on this panel would probably be a better fit than Russell Westbrook at this point. The reason why I did like Russ going to LA with LeBron a little bit was so he can take some of the playmaking slack off LeBron down the stretch to save him a little bit for the playoffs, which Ben Simmons can do better, and he'll play defense in the fourth quarter and throughout the rest of the game.
And,
So,
and,
yeah,
honest-
correct
and
in all your
Sean,
points.
and Sean, that's a great point. Let's be fair. Russ is still a playmaker,
Right.
just for the other team. You feel me? Russ out here. Yeah, listen. It's the first time in my life I've ever seen 6-on-4. Swear to God, this is the first time in NBA history I saw that. And by the way, just real quick, that whole soliloquy Freddie went on. You ready to hear the funny part about it? The cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. You want to know the funny part? That is point for point what I said the reason was. You see, gentlemen, listen, if y'all ever do the show me, I try to be humble. I really do. You feel me? But there's just times where I gotta pat myself on the back. Man, listen, man, you don't understand. I've been telling people this, and I've been taking abuse. I have been. You feel me? People they've been coming at Pride. They've been saying hurtful things. They called me stupid. My feelings were hurt. And the same people who called me stupid, all of a sudden, Ben Simmons will fix the problems. Ain't God good?
So talk about this whole Ben Simmons trade thing. Like living outside of Philly, I don't know if you guys heard the Daryl Morey interview today. You guys hear it? No.
Oh, yeah.
So let me fill you in.
I heard bits and pieces of it. It's rough.
It's rough right now.
It's rough, homie.
It's rough right now. And from the overall, just sum it up, the problem is the Tobias Harris contract. Because there's no other contract in the NBA that can match up with that. I think maybe John Wall's contract. And honestly, that's not a bad match. That's not a bad flip. I'd take John Wall with Ben Simmons. I think that's a good flip too. I would.
Not for the Sixers. It makes us for Houston, not for the Sixers.
I mean, you got to look at it like this. Like, you bring John Wall. You bring John. Actually, you could probably buy John Wall out. I just think that Simmons, listen to everything I listened to today. Simmons is not going nowhere, bro. He ain't going nowhere.
No. And like I said, I think the reason he's not going nowhere, I think they really think the 76ers think they can get a big guy. And their backup plan is, well, we can always just bring him back. Like, I'm pretty sure that's in the back, especially with Daryl Morey. He's and obviously, Jay, you know this. He said multiple times, we'll bring him back. We'll welcome him back with open arms. So it's 100%. Not like, you know what I mean? But the problem is, Ben don't want to be there no more. And who could blame him? Let's be fair here. Who could blame him? Because, you know what I mean? Like, when they lost to Atlanta, does he deserve some blame? Of course. But Joel Embiid had 8 turnovers. Thibault missed a layup. And if you want to talk about disappearing, let's not act like Tobias Harris is scot clean.
Tobias Harris is the most overrated, overpaid player in the NBA. And I'm sorry, man.
You can make that argument.
Me and my son go to the Sixers games all the time. Like, it's sad. He's nothing good but maybe 12 and 16 a night. And to get that contract, put it like this. When Tobias Harris, before he left the Clippers, before he left LA, what did Jerry West offer him? 40 million? 40, 60 million? That's what he's worth. He's not an $80 million player.
No.
And it's just sad.
Some breaking news in the NBA. This is coming out of Brooklyn, New York. Paul Millsap and the Brooklyn Nets have agreed to part ways. He will be traded, if not waived, before the 2021-2022 trade deadline.
They're making space. That's a cap space move. You have to look at that. You have to look at that as a cap space move because, first of all, why would Paul Millsap want to leave a championship contender? He's at a point in his career, like, it's not like he's going to go somewhere else and get valuable minutes. I mean, why would he leave? That's got to be them saying, hey, look, man, we're going to buy you out. We want you to see if there's more opportunity for you to go somewhere else and get some more minutes. That's not them saying, we need to get you get value off of your return. No, we're opening up for cash money. That's what it looks like for me.
So, Lakers, you like to play that small ball? Go out to Paul Millsap. He'll be a good small ball center.
Wouldn't be bad.
Who he would be good on? He would be good in Memphis. Send Paul Millsap to Memphis. Let him be behind Jaren Jackson. That's a good move.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
They need more veteran players in Memphis because, to be honest with you, I think Memphis is right at that 4 or 5 seed in the West. I think they need that veteran presence to be able to catapult them and to be able to be ready for that NBA playoff push.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. And even with all the Lakers, problems, lack of chemistry, and all that, and they losing, it's still not too late for this team to turn it around. It's still not too late.
It is actually.
They have to work on a lot of things.
They need to work on everything.
But one thing I do know,
they're color people late. They're running on CPT time. It's way too late.
But one thing that we do know is that this team was built for the playoffs. So if they can fix a couple things, if they can figure out who is going to be Okay, but if Russ figure out, okay, I'm not going to turn the ball over as much. I'm not going to shoot the ball or take these crazy shots. It depends on how Anthony Davis come back. So if they come back in the right mindset, hey, make a few trades because I've seen a few trades that they're interested in, like go after Eric Gordon, Terrence Ross to strengthen up their backcourt. They do those things, they can turn the season around. Let's not
Nah.
sit up here and say, let's not sit up here and say that how you started the season determine how you finish it. Let's not
So
do that.
so so let
Nah,
me stop you there.
yeah.
And before you go in though, Pride, the problem is with the Lakers, especially at this trade deadline, they don't have a first round draft pick that they can trade this year. They don't have that. Any
They don't have
team
to.
that wants any
But
team
they
that's going
have.
to
They have
trade with the
two. They
Lakers right
only
now.
have two pieces. They only have two pieces that they can trade.
Hold on. Let me finish, bro. Nobody to be able to get somebody on that team that's going to put them into the level of contention of where you think they're going to be. They don't have the assets to do that, bro. Teams are going to want a first round pick for anybody that they send over there. They don't have that. You can't trade back to back first round picks in consecutive years. You
They
can't
don't
do
need to
that.
trade
The
draft
Lakers are not
picks.
built for this.
They don't need to trade draft picks.
And here,
They
and
They don't need to trade.
It's not the fact
and
they're going to have to trade draft picks to be able to get a valuable player on that roster. You just said Terrence Ross. Orlando's not trading Terrence Ross to the Lakers without getting a first round draft.
even if he does, what is it gonna do? Like
Exactly.
here's and Freddie, here's
Terrence
what
Ross is not worth the first round draft pick, by the way.
No. I'm just saying if y'all get him, and Sean, please, if I'm out of pocket, please let me know. But I was told Kendrick Nunn was the last hope. We bring him in. Oh my God, this guy, he's phenomenal. He's revolutionary. Homeboy's
We haven't
so
seen him play. He's been
revolutionary
hurt.
that he has yet to even step on the court. And dare I say, Sean, Dre, correct me if I'm wrong. Kendrick Nunn is not starting, not the sixth man. He's probably fighting for what, 15 minutes a game? Let's be fair here.
If Rondo was still on the team, he wouldn't touch the floor.
Let's be fair here.
No, Rondo has lost his step. Rondo's not the same guy.
And you know who
what
else
are you
lost his
talking
step?
about? I take Rondo over Westbrook right now.
Easy, not even close. Easy.
Well, I
And you
mean,
wanna
of
know
course,
why?
I'll take
Because at the end of the day, Rondo knows
undrafted
himself.
Austin Reeves over Russ Westbrook. What are you talking about? That's not.
But let me explain why for the Lakers it's too late. And again, Sean, Dre, memorize my bullet points so that way if I'm wrong on any of them, let me know. Because you can't talk Lakers with Freddie. You can't.
No, he's biased.
It's like
You can't talk Patriots with pride. You can't.
No, you can actually. You actually can. You actually can, because when we got destroyed, go check the tape. Why did we get destroyed?
It took that for y'all to talk about. It took that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Before that game, I said our game against the mac and cheese,
and
mac and cheese got a little too. It started to melt.
Matt Jones showed something. He showed something that he's actually I know you're a Giants fan, so you don't know nothing about it. He's a good quarterback. Like, he's solid, especially in that Bill Belichick
my quarterback
system.
beat your quarterback twice.
Who, Eli? And Eli was so great, he ended up being nothing but a 500 player.
And guess what? That 500 player beat the Golden Brady.
You're right. He beat him twice. Now do me a favor. Look what happened after that.
It don't matter.
Thank you. Come on, bro. He played worse than Peyton Manning with a broken neck. What are we doing here?
You really want to talk about? He still beat you. He still beat you. He still beat you.
100%. He beat us 2 times, and I will never take that away from him ever.
Exactly.
Why? It happened, and it's not no fluke thing. He won. Congratulations. Not gonna take nothing from him. What happened since?
Trash.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. still continuing on to relevance. Meanwhile, Eli Manning got benched for Geno Smith.
Woo!
As I was saying before, so rudely interrupted, Sean. These are the reasons I believe it's too late for the Lakers. First and foremost, I've been consistent with this, and the only people who disagree with me were casuals who've never watched basketball a day in their life. When they got Russell Westbrook, I said they were a first-round exit. Immediately. They're a first-round exit. Okay? So you got Russell Westbrook. You can't move Russ.
Yes,
you can't move him. That's one. No,
yes, we can. We can move him.
You're
Nobody's
not
taking Russ. Nobody's
exactly. Now, is there contracts out there that can balance? Of
What we
course,
say,
there
how we
is.
get him?
Okay, so explain to me who's taking Russ?
No, it's not that they're gonna take him. It's that the Lakers that got tired of Russ. You know what? We'll play you the first 3 quarters, then we're gonna put the real team in the 4th quarter. We're gonna let you ride the bench.
You can't be legitimately serious if you think that that's going to work, though, bro.
Nah. See, but that's just reaching. That's just Freddie hoping.
You're
Freddie's
hoping, bro.
Hopes. That's his hopes.
No, what I'm saying is,
For instance, I hope the Celtics can get it together. We're not gonna, but I can hope.
Your hope with your team is like me saying that. Damn, I hope the Cowboys do it this year.
So, but let me just do my points real quick because my girl's about to kill me. I gotta hop off. So let me just do my points real quick. So first and foremost, nobody wants Russ. Let's just be fair. Why do you think he said this is the part people forgot? Before he wanted to go to the Lakers, he was open for anywhere. Nobody wanted him. Nobody was biting. Then LeBron was out and saying, okay, we'll take Russ. And then Russ was like, I want to go to LA. We need to stop forgetting that. We need to stop forgetting that Russ wanted to go anywhere other than Washington, and nobody wanted to touch him with a 10-foot pole, bro. Let's be fair. They were giving him the corona treatment before the corona treatment was popping, bro.
He had the Omarion before it was popping.
Let's be fair here. You feel me? So nobody wants Russ. So now you're stuck with him. 2, you're still hoping. You're still praying. You're still wishing for Russ to stop his play style. And we're in January. Freddie, I was with you. When they first got him, we won't really fully know how this team will gel till about Christmas, right? And when Christmas came, what did I tell you? The problem with the Lakers, they were playing Christmas Day the same way they were playing day one. There was no improvement. There was no adjustment, nothing. The best improvement that they did was what? Bench Russ. And you admitted it, Freddie. When they benched Russ, what happened? This team got better. But here's the problem with that. Are you going to keep benching him? No, you can't. Because how much money y'all paying him? You're not going to do that.
That's the plan.
No, that's not the plan. You just got caught by clickbait. It's in the 4th quarter. If they have better options, if it's a close game, they're going to sit him. But quarter 1 through 3, that still needs to be played. Who's going to be starting? Russell Westbrook. So now you're screwed on that front. 2, players are getting, when Russell Westbrook is guarding somebody, do you know their shooting percentage? 59%. Almost 60%. Almost 60%. And do you want to know where a lot of those come from? Freddie, you know, a lot of him leaving his guy wide open in the corner so he can go and chase a rebound for him to bump into LeBron, bump into Dwight Howard, bump into DeAndre Jordan, bump into THT, bump into Austin Reeves. So an offensive rebound can go to the team. And do you know who they happen to swing it to? The same man Russell Westbrook left wide open in that corner. So now you got the whole Russ factor, right? But again, no one wants Russ. So now you got to make it work, but you haven't been able to work. You haven't been able to go in the right direction with him at all. Let's be honest here, because again, right now, the Lakers against the Pacers played the same way they would have played the game 1 of the season. Let's be fair. Problem number 2, Anthony Davis. Let's stop acting like Anthony Davis has been a super duper superstar this year. And and Freddie, you know this. I'm an Anthony Davis fanboy. I rock with him. I vibe with him, but let's be fair here. We call him a top 5 player, and he's barely giving you 23 a game. We call him a top 5 player, yet he comes out and says, I don't care about the game no more. We call him a top 5 player, yet he doesn't want to play the 5, which is what he needs to. And even when he's at the
28 when he get back. Book.
But Freddie, we don't know that, Freddie. We don't know that, Freddie. We don't know that.
I know it.
Again, you said that, but you're the same dude who said that the Lakers were going to be clicking by Christmas Day. And what happened? Lakers got cold.
But you know what? Yes, I did say that. But guess what? Like I said then, until we see this team fully healthy, we can't say it. Do you know this big 3 have not played 15 games together this year?
And whose fault is that? I don't know. Hold on.
Anthony Davis, bro.
No, but time out. No. Well, it was LeBron James who was out, then Anthony Davis. And do you know what you noticed? Russ don't fit with either or.
Exactly.
But we need to see the 3 together before we can make a final decision.
Freddie, you're ignoring what I just said.
No, I'm not.
LeBron was out, and it was Russ and AD.
That's 2. We need to see 3.
Hold on.
It's not a big 2. It's a big 3.
But again, let me ask you a question. If he can't fit with them when it's just them two, how in the bloody double D triple dog and fuck do you expect him to mesh well with both of them on the court?
Because the floor will be more spaced. It will be more spaced. It'll have more opportunities. He ain't gonna be guarding the same way. That's why.
Sean, please elaborate for me. How is him being on the court with two other superstars equal to more space?
I think it'll be equal to less space, especially because Russ can't shoot threes.
Him being on the court by himself, it's like playing 4-on-5. You can't have Russ on that team, bro.
The problem is if they get to the playoff or when they get to the playoffs, they're going to need like a Malik Monk or a THT. They're gonna need them to get 20 for them to compete with these top.
Yes, you can. Malik Monk can.
And they're not going to do it every game. They can't compete without that.
They're not going to be able to every game.
They got to win in spite of us.
And not to take nothing from Malik Monk, because Malik Monk's been the best offseason.
Solid player, yeah, he's a solid player.
He's not going to give you 25 a night. He's not going to give you 25 very often.
We don't need him to. This will give us 15. Melo will give us 15 off the bench.
Bro, you're hoping that happens.
Exactly.
You're hoping
there's no track history of them giving that to you.
Did you see? Because listen, did you see the Laker family excited when Trevor Ariza got back in the lineup?
Let's be fair here. That's when you're bugging. And I'm gonna say this one that I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna say this one thing and I'm gonna hop off. You're acting like Malik Monk has always been a 25+ game per score. No. Let's be fair here. The first part of his season with the Lakers, the guy was horrible. Horrible. To the point that they considered cutting him.
Charlie didn't want him.
Let's be honest, the Lakers considered cutting him. There was a stretch he shot 30% from the floor. So I understand he's playing great now, and mazel tov to him. Congratulations. But if you're banking on this and this Malik Monk to carry you throughout the playoffs, homie, you're going to be bankrupt, bro. You're heading back to the Great Depression, homie. There's gonna be a recession on the line, bro. I understand you're a Laker fan and you want to believe. I get it, but you need to have some realism in you, Freddie. Just like me with my Celtics. I hope we can get it together. We're not gonna be able to, and I accept that. I still root, I still cheer, and I still support my team. But at the end of the day, guess what I gotta say? My Celtics right now, we are down bad. And guess what? The Lakers, if they make it out of the play-in, which now I'm having serious doubts about, but if they make it out of the play-in, let's be fair here. First round, they might get mollywopped. For all we know, let them match up against Golden State. Golden State in 3. Let them match up against Phoenix. Bro, you're getting swept. Let's be honest here, bro.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
You know what? And we're gonna do play-by-play, and I want you beside me.
Can I ask you, how are we going to do play-by-play on a team that's out of the playoffs?
You funny. But this is another episode of Keeping It Real. Want to thank my dude Dre, Sean. Want to thank Pride for coming on here.
It's crazy. This show's Keeping It Real, but Freddie never keeps it real about them damn ones. It's crazy.
In 20 minutes, Real Talk will be live. I'll be over there keeping it real. Just tune in over there as well. We'll dive into more to get deeper conversation. That's why I was a little bit calm right now. I don't want to get to yelling and lose my voice.
Just watch. On Real Talk, Freddie gonna blow out his voice box. He gonna blow out his voice box.
I'm gonna have to hop on Real Talk later. What is tomorrow, right?
Homie, I'm gonna tell you this
right now. 20 minutes.
20 minutes, homie.
20 minutes.
It's at 9 o'clock Eastern time, but I'm gonna tell you this right now, Sean. If you end up going there, get some headphones, right? Don't put that audio there. Play some like heavy metal music, and maybe, just maybe, it'll help balance it out a little bit.
I got you. I'll be there.
I'll be there, man. I'm gonna slide in, yo.
Hey, gentlemen, thank you guys for coming on. Until next, we'll be live Tuesday next week. Tune in to catch it. Just keeping it real.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. We talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces.